Miss Trixie continues. Oh, yeah, and Bobby was on the block at least a day before the student with the newspaper, but later in the week than the history class rep. So then Bobby does not have the newspaper and is not the history class representative. And he was on the block at least a day before, so he wasn't the last person. And uh, but later in the week than the history class person, so he wasn't the first person. So he's not Monday and he's not Friday. And then we can also go down to the newspaper, whoever was carrying the newspaper. And if we look at that same sentence, the Bobby was on the block at least a day before the uh, student carrying the newspaper. So the student carrying the newspaper can't be the first day. And then if we go to the history class representative and read that clue again, Bobby was on the block at least a day before the student with the newspaper, but later in the week than the history class person. And so the history class person can't be Friday. So, but we already knew that. So we're going to leave that there. Make sure you ask Sadie the bus driver, says Miss Trixie. So Rachel goes to ask Sadie. Sadie remembered Duarte was on the street on Tuesday or Wednesday. So Duarte was Tuesday or Wednesday. So that means he wasn't there on Thursday. But he was not carrying the homework, and he isn't the English class rep. So he's not carrying homework, and he's not the English class rep. Someone in a black coat was on the street on Friday. So Friday, we now know, is the black coat person. So I'm going to put an O there, and X for the rest of that row, and X for the rest of that column. Jimmy, the history class rep, was easy to see because he was wearing a bright blue coat. Okay, that's telling us a few things. Jimmy is a history rep, so we're going to put an O there. And X's for the rest of that row, and X's for the rest of that column. And he was wearing a bright blue coat, so we're going to put an O here for Jimmy, and X's for the rest of that row, and X's for the rest of that column. The person who was walking down the street on Thursday was not the foods class rep, nor the biology class rep. So in Thursday column, that person is not biology and not foods. It was the kid on Wednesday who had the homework. So then we go to the homework row, and we know it's the kid on Wednesday, and we're going to put X's for the rest of that row, and X's for the rest of that column.